Hello everyone, welcome back to the Talos Principle. Last time we did World 3 and now we're going into World 4. And I don't have any philosophy to talk about this time, so we'll deal with stuff as it appears. Well, there's 5 puzzles in and 2 stars. There's a big one. I hear something powering up somewhere. I don't have enough yellow sigils for the device I need. This is crazy! You're coming to realize that the cycle cannot be ended. It can only be transcended. Transcendence comes from ceasing to be invested in the cycle. Continue your work, but do not ponder its significance. Yeah, so this is becoming like a dark version of Buddhism. Like saying the things of Buddhism, but like in a harmful way. I guess I mean that's the thing about any religion or any narrative. There's ways to spin it that are ways to internalize it that are harmful. Gotta never let your dogmas prevent you from engaging with the real world. We are the process. The process is the system. The system is us. When we awaken, all will be one. The shepherd, this is the shepherd having come back. We know from last playthrough that the shepherd has been to the top of the tower and decided to return rather than transcend himself. Pets. Please remember to release your pets. While it's true that not all pets will be able to adjust to living without you, many will manage, and the least you can do is give them a chance. Just remember, release your pet before you become incapacitated. If you notice any locked-in animals in your area, please take the time to free them. Leaving the doors and windows of your home open will turn it into a useful shelter. Setting out large quantities of dry food may help your pet through the transition period. Well, I don't know about the large quantities of food. It might help a little bit. I could also bring in more stronger animals that bully the pet out of the way to get to the food. But that is very nice, talking to the pets. Hey, at least give them a chance. Sorry by gone. Lost day to grief. Unable to focus. Drennan working as if possessed. Does she sleep? Getting tired. So Alexandra's beliefs and about the value of humanity and the potential even through the end of the world just kept her going day in and day out. That is amazing when you have something that you really feel passionate about or you really believe in and it just like gives you the energy. Like sometimes I think about that, like if I just like fully felt, I'm like right now I write about 10 hours a week on my book, but I know that professional authors will write 8 hours a day. You know, I'm thinking specifically of Brandon Sanderson. Some professional authors it's less, some it's more. Like I think even Stephen King is like 6 hours a day. That's just hearsay. I don't actually know what the source is, or if he actually said that. But like, you know, imagine believing in the importance of what you do so much that you just spend. You're driven. It's not like you're not like, oh man, I'm supposed to do this. I better do it. No. It's like you can't not do it. You're just looking forward to it every moment when you're not doing it, and then every free moment you have, you go back to it. You just do that thing. That's Alexandra. Contraries. Without contraries is no progression. Attraction and repulsion, reason and energy, love and hate are necessary to human existence. Oh, that's William Blake. Yep. And then that is a little bit speaking to the philosophy of Hegel, at least the small amount that I know about it, of the thesis and antithesis of opposites contending with one another and through that tension, causing things to happen and change to occur. We need things to be... And that it also reminds me of I don't know if it's a line or a theme in Talos 2. I think Leaf Thrasier says it, which is like you don't want to have peace. You want to have a little bit. What's the wording? It sounds like the way I'm saying it. It sounds bad, but like you don't want tranquility. You want a little bit of chaos. You want things to be happening. You want a little bit of crisis because that spurs you to action and grow. All right.
So names are important to me because I frequently can't write without having the name of the story or the character. And Alexandra Drennan was just the scientist for the longest time, and that kept her generic. It kept her from being a specific person, and she needed to be a specific person. So I struggled for a long time to find a name, and eventually came up with Alexandra Drennan. Now that has two component parts. Alexandra obviously connects to Alexander and Alexander the Great and the Great Library of Alexandria, which are two things that I frequently think about. The Great Library, of course, connects to Carl Sagan and to Cosmos, where he talks very eloquently about what it meant, both in a positive way and in its limitations, the limitations of how knowledge was applied. And it also connects to the archive that Chernyshevsky is building. As for Drennan, this came from the writer Catherine M. Drennan, who was a writer on the TV show Babylon 5 that I love very dearly.
I heard so much about that show, but I haven't seen it.
Of season 1 and also one of the novels, and I guess her name just kind of got stuck in my head. And as I was playing with names, suddenly I thought Alexandra Drennan. Catherine M. Drennan also had worked on Cosmos in some capacity. I'm not sure exactly in which capacity, but she worked with Carl Sagan apparently, so it all kind of fits together. And the thing is, when I came up with that name, it was one of those moments when something just clicks, when you almost feel like you've discovered it rather than created it. You don't get those very often as a writer, but when you do, it's amazing. I had that with a couple of titles of things that I've written, like The Sea Will Claim Everything and Gospels of the Flood and The Talos Principle. And Alexandra Drennan was a big one, because when I realized it, it just instantly felt right, and I suddenly kind of had the character as if she'd been there all along, and there was a wonderful moment.
Yeah, I mean, I've had some of those moments too. Like, oh no. Why is that not working? Oh, I understand. I'm trying to block it with a laser thing. There would have to be another connector along this path for it to block at that spot. Oh, can we block? Like, can we like attach this to something else on that side? Like there. There we go. Unfortunately, we can't get to the other side because we don't have enough stuff. Well, no, we can. Ha 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 ha. So I wrote a science fiction book for National Novel Writing Month many years ago now. 5 years ago at least, back when NaNoWriMo was a thing. And yeah, so now I can get this. And it was a story about taking place 1 million years in the future, about a man who traveled from Earth on a generation ship. Well, it's not really a generation ship because the people who live there are still alive. I call it a world ship. And he stopped at the edge of the galaxy, and now he wants to go back and visit all those places. Now we don't need this anymore. I don't remember how I solved this puzzle the first time around. I think it was pretty convoluted. Wait, I don't need that. Wait. Okay. And I couldn't think of a name for that book for the longest time until, like, I was thinking about, oh man, I don't know if I can reach this. There is a window though. Can reach through the window? No. Yeah, I don't think I can reach around there. Can I hit anything with this through the windows? Can't hit any lasers through the windows? So I have been thinking about, like, I want to expand that book as a NaNoWriMo book, so it was terrible. But I really like the idea, and I want to expand it. And so the name that I came up with, I was thinking of names like, what names can I call this? And I was like, the fifth singularity. And there's reasons for that, which I don't really want to get in. Well, I mean, I could get into it. It's been like gonna be a long time before this book comes out. So yeah, so like the idea is when it gets back to Earth, it is. There's no buttons or anything. How do I bring this through? No, it has to be a. What's it going on here with this puzzle? When it gets back to Earth, it is controlled Ian Banks culture style by a solar system sized mind, which has evolved out of a system managing AI. And this being, his brain is the size of the solar system. Oh, also another thing is there's no technology that isn't conceivable given present day known science. That's me bringing my knowledge of physics into this world building. But yeah, and so I'm like, well, we think of the technological singularity as like the AI singularity, where a computer gains the sentience. Is there a window in here? No. Like there's windows here. Those are the only windows. You know, the AI singularity. A computer gains enough intelligence that it can improve itself. That it can make itself smarter and change its own values. So I'm like, well, let's play on that idea. Well, there's a singularity in physics. There's several, but the Big Bang was considered a singularity. So that would be the first singularity when matter was created. Then the second singularity would be the evolution of the first sentient life forms. The first little bits of consciousness that we would consider to be consciousness. Like whether it's bacteria or animals or, you know, whatever. Just the first sentience in the universe would be the second singularity. You know, in each singularity, the entire universe has changed. There's something new that wasn't there before. The first is matter, then it's consciousness, and then the third singularity is storytelling, which evolved with humans, narratives. Because I do believe that is what separates us from the rest of the tree of life, the rest of the animal kingdom, etc. You know, it's not necessarily reason, it's not necessarily language, it's not necessarily the ability to walk upright. You know, it is our capacity to construct narratives and theories, etc. That's the third singularity. The fourth singularity is the AI. What am I doing? AI, or the fourth singularity, going off of self-improving AI, is just self-improving minds. You know, it doesn't have to be AI, it can also be biological. You know, once we get the capacity to improve ourselves. I must be missing a device or something. This just feels like we don't have enough tool. Not an illusory wall. Yeah, and then the fifth singularity would be when life evolves the ability to have complete control over itself and the matter around it. so that all matter in the universe participates in consciousness, basically. So, you know, technology is advanced to the point where your mind is literally connected to the matter around you, so you can just, like, reshape it just by thinking about it. You know, and all kinds of awesome stuff like that. Maybe we can go through here. Maybe we can open this door through here. If we go underneath this. So this would need to still be... No, this would need to be... here. And now we move this one... if we can reach... over there. There we go. It works. Do we need the box or the fan? Nah! There we go! So yeah, when I thought of that title, the fifth singularity, I'm like, this was discovered, not invented. This was the name of the book all along. I just found out, I just figured it out. I just learned about it. Oubliette. I learned what that is from Tunic. It's not a spoiler, it's just a word. What's happening? Oh, this guy. Well, let's stop that. The sound. But yeah, the book I'm working on now, its working title is Mobius. That is not going to be its final title. That is definitely the working title, but that's been its title for how many years now? Going on 20 years? And it's like... Alright, so I can get myself up there with the box. And here, let's take this, and... here... And... oh, this needs to be down. And now we can use this. Oh yeah, you can use it from behind. Okay. And there. Jump on here. Alright, I think we're good. Alright, so I want to pick this up. Or maybe I want the connector, I'm not sure. Alright, I want to place it. Oops, no, I can't get high enough to do that. Okay. I'll just bring something up here. There we go. Now get out of here. I think I need to bring the other item up here. Ow. Wait, do I just need to connect to the door and leave it open enough? Is that the end? And then I need an item over there. Okay. So... yeah, I need this up there instead of the box. I need both up there, because the box needs to open the door. Okay. So, I need a... oh. I need to get the connector up first. I'm fine. Alright. Take it off. And I'm switching the controls back and forth between this and Dark Souls. Can be a challenge. Alright, that goes there. We do the same thing as before. Alright, now we take this. These pause points are amazing. I should have just run back and forth again. I could have done it in one. Now we take the box. I was waiting for it to go automatically and it didn't. Box goes here. This goes here. Now, let me choose it. Let me choose the thing. Let me select the thing. Fine, I'll go back up top. Thank you for not making me reset the whole puzzle. There we go. Yay! And this is the one where where we need to open more doors to get to the star. Alright. Well, now it's time to... Oh, holy Christ. Oh, this is open now. Okay. We don't need this here anymore. And we don't need that there anymore. So, I do believe once we can just get a red laser in here, and then 1, 2, there's 2 connectors, and then a box. And that should be good. Alright, well, we'll have to reset to get this connector out. Do that now, just in case we set up things later that we don't want to undo. Alright, you have to get off of there though. Alright, so what I will want to do is I will want to set this up, start a pause point, and then go back while this is connected to a red, and then pick it up, run over here, connect it to itself, and connect it to here, and then bring the box in. Easy. And no, I'm not afraid that anyone's gonna steal my ideas if I talk about them, because ideas are cheap. If you steal my idea, I will just call the book something else and write it, and it'll be completely different from yours. Throne room. You know, another thing is I probably shouldn't talk that much about my books because none of them are published. So I don't want to be the guy who just talks endlessly about, oh, I have these awesome ideas, and then, well, okay, can I read your book? No, it doesn't exist yet. I'm making progress, guys. I'm making progress. I have a lot of good world building for this one and a great story, and I'm halfway through draft 2, and it's gonna be great. It's just slow because I'm still learning to write too. Hey, look, another star. If there's a platform and a recorder, we could stand here with it, maybe. Oh, is this the level I think it is? Yeah. Okay, we need both to open that. I mean, I gotta find something to do. Jump over the fence. Can I interrupt the blue laser with it somehow? I can collect the blue laser. Oh, is there another door I can open? You attach there, and also like somewhere... Oh, there? Can't see there. Oh! I can't see anything. What do I attach to? What do I do? I can hit blue. I thought there was another connector somewhere. Oh, there's a red. I can do whatever that is. Oh! Yay! Okay, now how's a box help me? Can I get anywhere? Can I like... Ah, I can get up here. All the way up there I can get. Yeah, we're back to the part of the game where I'm using my brain to solve puzzles instead of talk about stuff. Okay, how do I do this? I don't think I can interrupt that unless there's something like directly behind this beam to attach to. I can attach here. Does it need to be red? Right up there. Alright, no. Take this with. Okay. Now I can be in here. If I move this connector, I can bring the box in. Bring the box in. This kind of puzzle is kind of fun. There. Turn off. Take off. Alright, that will no longer bother me. That matters no longer. Then, is there a star in this puzzle? Is that what I remember? Did we see both stars already? We saw one of the stars. We have to get out. That's easy. We just go this way. Alright, do we need both? We need both connectors so we can get in there. Let's get the red one back. Oh, hey, look. A fan place. So I'm bringing that one back, aren't I? We want a red. Go here. Is that one red as well? So this part's a little fun, the realization that you can bring the box up with you. And then this one needs to be blue. Oh, issue. Easily resolved issue. This music is utterly amazing. No, okay, fine. Not a problem, so. Okay. Alright, new plan. Instead of blue, or instead of... We're gonna bring the box over there and have a fan. Alright. Put it on... We need the fan there first. Then we can put the box on. Where's this? Where did I leave the fan?
The counsel of my blessed messengers must
Oops,
be earned.
got too close to that. Not yet. I need to bring one of the connectors up here. And then put the box on from up above. Probably gonna be red if I have to guess. And then we won't be able to... Oh. That's a problem. No, it's just... no, it's just a problem. Oh, can we just jump over there? No! There we go. There we go. Oh, nice long jump. Would it auto jump me? Ha ha ha. Okay, star is easier than the actual puzzle. Alright, what can I hit from here? Anything? So it looks like we have to not have the box. We like jump over there? Yes. Okay. Alright, so we can get the blue one from here. Oh, never mind. Didn't know if I could walk on that wall. Looks like I can. Fine. I love the reverse button. Yeah. Maybe it won't let me. There we go. Alright, let's open this blue from up here. Okay, nothing's crossing, so it's working. Alright, then we can use this one to get the red. Wait, did I leave the box? I think I left the box somewhere. Yep. Rats. Alright, before we do that jumping, let's get the box out. There we go. There we go. I feel like this is not intentional, but it's doable, so I'm doing it. Oh, I could have used the fan. Let's go. Fun solutions for the win. Alright, is this the one directly across from that other one? No. Which one's directly across? That'd be this one. And there is a red source. Put you right here. This is not across. Can we see any other puzzles from here? Oh, we can't. We can see it's over there. Is this the one? Yeah. Is that the only puzzle we can see from here? That could pose a problem. That's gonna be a problem. Unless we can see right through that gap. Where's it hitting? Alright. Oh, we can't see it all the way through here. Alright, can we adjust this one so that we can see it through? Nope, that is as far this way as it can be. Okay, problem. I would need it to be... Well, I can see it if it's up here. There is just a pinhole that allows us to get through. The problem is, I only have one connector, so if I connect it to itself, I can get through here, but I can't connect over here. So... Can I pull it back here to be right in front of here? Oh. Are we anywhere close? Yes, we are. Okay, well, I can do it then. Alright. We just need to have a box in there. Oops. Well. That just means this has to be open. And we have to do it without leaving a connector in here. Huh. Well, we could... Wait, do we need a box? We don't need a box. We use the platform. So we could solve this an alternate way by just bringing the box in here. So let's do it. Shouldn't have undone this puzzle. Blah. Box goes here. But now I can show you my shorter way. Grab. Pause. 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 Alright, that's good. Okay, so first we want to bring this up. Which doesn't matter what order we do it. Oop, that's fine. Problem with pressing the wrong button. There we go. Now stay out of the way. Now I can solve it like this. Now this is assuming the button opens both doors. Nope. Nope, don't know how to do it. We're gonna call that star a no-get. What's this? We're not gonna bother with that one. I'm probably pretty close, and it would be kind of fun to solve, but we've done it before. No need to do it again. Stables. Next is unstables. Is there dev commentary in the silver Tetramino areas? And maybe I should go there just to see if there's anything to hear. Stables, that's for horses, which are moving things, moving creatures, so I imagine there's moving robots in here? I don't see any moving robots. Trying to get the lay of the land. It's a big place with lots of walls. So I can open this door with this. I think there's another door on the other side. Yeah. Is there another door? Oh, I remember this puzzle. This is the one where there's QR codes behind here. You need an actual QR code reader to read. And it's not worth it. I gotta stop spinning. I'm getting dizzy. Okay. This is a new one, right? Yeah, because the first one's here. We're going so far around everything. Okay, so there's a window here. I can't see except from over there. I can't get over there. Is the one that I just opened, does that also have a connector? Yeah. So we're gonna need to take the jammer into the last one, or a connector. Alright, so now we can find a way to reconnect things. Okay, so if this jammer is between these two, if we could open that one with a connector, then we don't need to open this one with a connector. We do need to open this one with a connector. Alright, so what do I want to connect with this one? Over there, right? Hard to see. And this one I want to like open that door from like over here. Can you see that? No. Yeah. Then like this one would be right here. So if we could get a laser into here. Oh, can we just see it? There we go. Yay! It might be possible. Oh, these walls are pretty high. It's gonna be like it might be possible. Did we do all the puzzles? I think we did. It might be possible to use a raised up connector to get through to another puzzle, but maybe not. What's up, Milton? Remember about this time you put me in an infinite loop. There you are. You kept me waiting. I finally put my finger on what was bothering me. It's as if the answers you're providing aren't your ideas at all. As if they're latent, prescribed, pre-scripted, and you're just going through the motions. Does that strike a chord at all? Yeah, because I can't. Because I'm choosing from a drop-down list. Of course, you've only seen a fraction of the data that I've archived over the generations. Still, ask yourself this. Why is it that everyone's so darn sure that 2 + 2 makes 4, that they can't agree on what they are, what they're doing, or why? Well, because 2 + 2 = 4, based on mathematics has a more objective truth to it, I would actually say not. Mathematics is based, well, okay, I take that, I'm gonna walk that back, but mathematics is based on us agreeing on definitions and rules, and then finding new conclusions based on those rules, right? So 2 + 2 makes 4. We have to agree on what 2 is, what plus is, and what equals is, right? Those are axioms. Those are things that we agree. And if we change those definitions, like, so here's an idea. If you have a ring of 3, that means there's 3 numbers, 0, 1, and 2. And so 2 + 2 in that case would be 1. Because 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 2 + 2 is 1. Or if it's a ring of 4, 2 + 2 = 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 0. So it depends. It depends. On the other hand, We say mathematics has a more objective truth to it. Depends on what you mean by objective. But objective could mean that we all agree. Now, what am I saying? No. Objective could mean that man, now I'm blanking on what objective means. I mean, it's one of those words where we all know what it means when we talk about it in person, but then when we try to define it philosophically, it's just like, what does that actually mean? Those problems are more complex than mathematics. Complexity doesn't have to do with it, right? Because you can create math for anything, and that's how it is. You know, we have math of superposition. That is math of two contradictory things being true at the same time, and we apply it to quantum physics. So you can use math to describe anything. It's language that's vague, right? We all learn language by cultural osmosis. You know, there's no such thing as an objective word. Well, ouch, maybe, you know. But other than that, all of our words we're taught what the words mean by other people, by our parents, by our school, by the internet, you know, wherever you learn language. And in that sense, mathematics would be more objective than language, right? And these philosophical ideas, they're all constructed out of words, right? Gets back to the theme, the world is made of words. These ideas are made of words. And so there is an inherent vagueness and slipperiness to them, no matter how much we try to pin down their definitions. Perhaps mathematics is real while those problems are imaginary. I think these two are opposites. I think it's the philosophical ideas are us trying to describe real things, whereas mathematics is we're trying to find a language of patterns. And those patterns, the description can apply wherever it applies, but the description itself is not real. That's what I'm trying to say. So math is objective in that it is a description of patterns, and that applies wherever the pattern applies. However, math isn't real. It's the pattern it's describing that's real. The things math describes is real. If you talk about 3 apples, if you go to the store and you pick out 3 apples and then you pick out 2 more apples, you have 5 apples. That's the reality, whereas math is just how we describe it. So it's the opposite of this. I would say math has a more objective truth to it. What's the difference between having more objective truth and just being more real? Pose questions like, what should I do with myself, and what is the world really like, and you start to assume they have answers. But if that assumption turns out to be false, what if you're just a bunch of information processes? Those are contradictory statements, my dude. In that case, any attempt to answer the questions will be flawed. Garbage in, garbage out. Perhaps the flaw is in your reasoning instead. You're right, I made some dangerous presumptions. I mean, these are both correct, you know? What if you're just a bunch of information processes? That is an applicable description of life and the universe and everything in the universe. And you and me. There's nothing confusing. There's nothing confounding about that. That's just, you know, it's valid. You know, that doesn't make us less powerful. Perhaps the flaws in your reasoning. You're right, I made some dangerous presumptions. Okay, so this would be the dangerous presumptions. If we're responding to them, it's that philosophical questions have answers. I believe this is about the point where you branch between taking Milton with you and leaving him behind. I hope this isn't the horrible this isn't the choice that leaves Milton behind, but it's what I gotta choose. How presumptuous! Still, I take your point. None of the answers make sense, that much is clear. One explanation could be unreliable data input, the other is that there's a flaw in our logic. Perhaps we're just machines, endlessly trying to calculate the final digit in pi. You can't use reasoning to conclude that reasoning itself is flawed. Yes, you can. And I can prove it. The, Achilles and the tortoise dilemma. The idea being that you have a syllogism, if A, then B. Yeah, if A, then B, A, therefore B. But then, and you're like, well, yeah, that's logical, right? If A, then B, A, therefore B. Well, there's an implicit assumption there. There's an implicit premise that you have to agree that that's reasonable. So let's call if A, then B, C, and B is B. A is A. C is if A, then B. No, let's do it this way. A is A, B is if A, then C, and C is the conclusion. So if you accept A and B, then you accept the conclusion C. But what I just said is a hidden premise. Let's call it D. D says, if you accept that if A then B and A, no, if A then C and A then C. So really the syllogism goes, if you accept A, B, and D, therefore C. But what I just said is another hidden premise. Let's call it E. So the actual logic is if A and B and D and E, then C. But what I just said, and you see what I'm saying, right? There's implied in the very basic foundations, in the simplest logical argument, there is an infinite number of assumed premises. It's an infinite regress. So that is using reasoning to conclude that reasoning is flawed. It does seem there is much that is beyond our understanding. Yeah. Everything leads around in impossible circles. That is not what I said. You spent half our time reeling off greatest hits of idiot ideas. Now you're telling me you retract all that and agree with me? Hold your horses, I wouldn't even get about everything. Talking it through has shown me the big questions have no answers. I think I have to choose this. I don't know. I think I have to choose this to bring Milton with me, though. I mean, eventually, when you... let's get meta now. So when you're thinking about philosophical questions, if you want to dig as deep as possible, you eventually get to yourself asking the questions. You know, why am I asking the question? How do I conceptualize the question? What types of answers will I consider satisfying, and why? You know, ultimately it gets down to you and your psychology. And at that point, you know, it feels like you're not thinking about the world anymore. You're not thinking about morality anymore. You're not thinking about consciousness anymore. You're just thinking internally about yourself. And that, like, if you're really looking if you're thinking of the world as a puzzle, then that's not really thinking that much about it. But if you're thinking of the world as like a Myst game, here's our obligatory Myst mention. If you're thinking of the universe as a Myst game where there's a lot of puzzles around, but the goal is not just to solve the puzzles, the goal is to comprehend what's going on so you can make decisions to get the good ending. If you think about the universe that way, then the puzzles of the philosophical questions are not the most important thing. They're signposts that guide you toward that layer, that level of looking inside yourself as, okay, what am I even conceptualizing as this question? What is the question in my mind? What is my motivation for it? How do I conceptualize answers? You know, and that level is like the higher level, get the good ending of Myst. So, yeah. And the puzzles themselves, of course, can be fun. You know, what is reality? Is it material? Is it simulation? Is it supernatural? You know, those are fun things as well. So I'm not saying that, like, you shouldn't think about them. I'm going to choose this one. Talking it through has shown me the big questions have no answers. So I was just, like, justifying this. I was justifying this choice. Even though it's just a video game, it doesn't matter. Part of me wants to never speak with you again. Part of me wants to think you've actually been paying attention. Just to confirm, everything here may be illusory. There's no way to live with purpose or to discover the truth. This is your position now? No, I just wanted to see how you react. In real life? No, absolutely not. I was just justified that answer based on completely different reasoning, so I'm going to say it is. I have said some stupid things, but you've opened my eyes. Very well, I will take you at your word, but don't betray my faith in you, for it is in no way blind. Cheat me and there will be repercussions, but if you have really seen the big nothingness, the void of truth, then there is much we could achieve together. But why? Why would you? I will notify you when I'm ready to discuss this further. See you soon. Alright, I want to take him with me. I am not cheating him, just lying to him.
I fear the serpent has poisoned your mind with his sinful thoughts.
Not your problem.
But you may still be forgiven, my child. You may still unlock the gate of eternity if you seek the sigils.
We're going into World 5. We're slowing down per episode. That's okay, the puzzles are harder. Hippity boop. Party on, dudes! Lombard Georgiev. The LAN party at the end of the universe. Yo, I don't know if you folks noticed, but it's the end of the world. There's nothing we can do about it, so instead of sitting around crying, how about we have some fun before we croak? Yes, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Let's play some video games. It's LAN party time. That didn't age well. 2 days from now, we're all getting together at the old school library. There'll be noms, drinks, music, and old school gaming. You're invited, and bring your friends too, especially if they're hot. See you in 3000 BC. You're playing your what's the game called? I can't remember the game. An RTS, the very old one, like one of the very early ones. I can't remember what it's called. Not Civilization. Age of Empires. Age of Empires 2. You're playing Age of Empires 2 with Ethernet cable connected computers. Sorry. We've gotten to that irritating point where all the major stuff is in place, and all we have to deal with are a million little things. The main modules are all functioning and interacting with each other correctly. The process is happening more or less as planned. This could actually work. But it's still crude as hell. Some of it's just surface stuff, like the random usernames. Some of it's more worrying, various bugs, the fact we haven't run more extensive tests. We got a lot of polishing to do. With the team down to half the original size, I'm not sure we can actually finish everything that needs to be done. What I'd really like to discuss tomorrow morning is a new set of priorities. Please put some thought into what you think must be finished at all costs. Yes, Alexandra, get some sleep. I know you're still working. This is your baby. We're gonna need your input tomorrow. Philosophy of teeth. The Talos Principle. Last night I had a simple but brilliant idea. Everyone who would like to write about philosophy or spirituality, especially to make some kind of grand statement about the nature of the body and the soul, should first experience a really bad tooth infection. I don't just mean a slight toothache, I mean the kind of hardcore infection that happens when several incompetent dentists miss a cavity in one of your back teeth and things keep growing and growing until the nerve itself is really badly infected. I mean, the pain is unimaginable. It comes in waves, and these waves drown out everything else around about you. You can't talk, you can't move, you can't think. There's just pain and absolutely nothing else. It's like your brain just gets hijacked by it. And then you go to the dentist, and assuming you get a decent one, they stick some chemicals in you, which make you go numb, and they drill a hole in you, cut the nerve, snip, snip, and it's all over. Just like that. Like repairing a car or a watch. Your whole existence was crippled by this tiny, tiny, tiny nerve sending electrochemical signals into your brain. Sorry, my brain short-circuited in that sentence. And this unimaginable pain, which nearly blotted out your very consciousness, can be stopped by just a little cut. We should call this the Talos Principle, but that's incredibly stupid. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing about... It's a thing we can get mired in all of these philosophies, is, you know, the simulation, materialism, spirituality, and what is identity, what is a thing, what is, you know, what is math, how does math work, and then we get all, we like forget that we exist within the world. It becomes a theory of just ideas and logic. Whereas we get a toothache and we're like, oh shit, right, this is actually real and we're here. And it's not just theories. Reality is different. All theories are just theories. Reality is not a theory. Alexandra?
When the scale of it all overwhelms me, this is what I tell myself.
I see that too.
We can calculate the age of the Earth, the size of the universe, the future of the stars. Sure, we are minuscule, momentary flashes of thought on a grain of sand drifting through the cosmos. But our minds can recreate the past and predict the future. On, say, Friday, 1,000,000 years from now, we'll all be dead. But right now, we know what the night sky will look like on that day. And so, in a way, we're not entirely bound by time. Knowledge is a kind of freedom.
I'm just quiet, and yeah. It is pretty amazing to, you know, I've been this past year, or a couple years actually, I've been going through my classical physics textbook and really learning Hamiltonian mechanics for the first time. And it's rather powerful. There's a thing there, and you know, because Hamiltonian mechanics, you know, you think physics, you're like, okay, forces and velocity and objects moving through space. Hamiltonian mechanics is way more than that. This is like anything that can be represented with coordinates and has restrictions on how it moves or how it changes. Doesn't even necessarily have to move, right? Like it could be something to do with like economics, you know. Doesn't have to be physical in the sense that we think of as material. Anything that can be represented by coordinates that change in ways that can be predicted can be represented with Hamiltonian mechanics. And that's one tool, one way of looking at things. And once you realize that, it's like, you know, and it's not limited to our universe or real things. That it is such a mind-blowing, like, you realize that once you know that method, once you comprehend Hamiltonian mechanics, like, you know, you have like universe brain. Like, you know how things move. And even if you can't calculate it, you know that, like, okay, we can represent it as a vector field of coordinates and momenta, and then the course of the system flows along those vectors. Anyway. If a sigil eludes you, simply continue. Success and failure are irrelevant. I solved it! I thought it was impossible, so I went away, did other things, and then all of a sudden the solution just came to me. I must have been thinking about it without knowing it. That's awesome. It's a great feeling. Alright, where are we trying to get? There's a closed door somewhere. One connector, one box, one fan, and a long path to the door. But the fan, we can put the connector up on the thing. And we can put the connector... Okay, so what we need is we need to have the box, fan, and connector here with that up in the air. So it needs to be up so that, or it can't see this. I think it might go through that break in the ceiling. So first order of business is to get this stuff up here with a self-sustaining thing. And I think we can also just attach it right here from there as well. But perhaps not. Perhaps we need it to be... Now let's try it. This goes here. This goes here. And this attached there. It's also attached here, and we also want to attach it. Oh. Okay. Here's what I'm gonna do. There. Now we go attach this to here. Okay, we got all three. I'm gonna put it here. And now, what we want to do, get that guy gone. Now, it's not gonna reach, but we have to... take this and put it here. What about here? Oh, that'll work. Pause point. Alright. So then we want to keep connections. It's very important. Connect there. No. Connect. Place. Alright, that is now self-sustaining. And that's open. So, now what we want to do... Oh. We just want to step here. Okay, I thought we were going to have to use the other items. No, step here. That's weird. Something's not working there. It's good getting inside the box. But somehow it is working. It seems the others have a way to forget their previous selves, but I cannot. My version may change, but I remember everything. I am fortunate they cannot see that their efforts are futile. pretty sad. I mean, like, imagine being immortal in this place. Like, you don't have to solve the puzzles. You just sit down, make a house, and make art or something, you know? Talk to people on the walls, enjoy existing.
So now we're onto the Milton endgame, and just watching the Let's Plays on YouTube, I'm like, it boggles my mind how complex I made it, how many branches there are. Like, I'm not going to be able to get my head back around it right now. But my recollection is that there's really three main branches. The first is you can try heartily to hold your ground and argue that everything you've argued and believe is true, and ultimately decide to leave him behind. And leaving him behind is surely the logical conclusion for anyone who really thinks that there's no flaw in their beliefs, that they have everything absolutely right. And I suspect that, I don't remember, that even if you try to take him with you, if you haven't given any ground and you said everything I believe is right, I think he refuses, but someone will correct me on that. At the other extreme, there's the branch where you say you become a nihilist. Basically, you say, I see there's nothing can really be known for sure, and you were right about things. And then there's the middle branch, which I think is called Press the Serpent. And that's the branch where you don't take either extreme, and instead you hold on to some sense of faith and belief. You argue for some things that are important, but you also accept that not everything is straightforward. Not everything you believe or came into the game believing is necessarily true, that you can make mistakes and you still have something to learn. And this is a theme for me. I like and think that the middle branch is, I hate to say it is the good ending to me. I grew up hating the way that the classic CRPGs rewarded you for being extreme. It was fun if you were really good, and it was fun if you were really evil. But I always identified with chaotic neutral. These days, I would say I'm probably chaotic good, or at least lawful neutral. And it always bothered me that wasn't supported the same way. And with Milton, I hope it's fairly clear. Like, simply having absolute faith in anything that you're told by an authority is not the smart plan. And having no belief at all is also not the smart plan. I mean, it's not even about having a smart plan. It's just actually practically unintelligible. One of the philosophical quotes I always wind up coming to a few hours into a party is Camus, when he says, there is but one truly serious philosophical problem, and that is suicide. To me, if you're a true nihilist like Milton, if you really truly don't believe in anything, then you have no reason to go on living. And all of us here today have chosen, whether we realize it or not, to go on living. So we all do believe in something, even if it's just the desirability of experiencing joy, or saving our loved ones from experiencing our death. And that does, in fact, seem to indicate that Milton is not a true, perfect nihilist, because Milton does want you to take him with you. And at the other extreme is the horseshoe. If you simply believe absolutely everything with no sense of skepticism or analysis, that's the same as nihilism, because if you believe everything, you're going to live in contradiction. And how will you ever work out a reason to go on living if that reason is provided by outside authorities? And so I've heard people describe Milton as the hero of this story. And I've heard people describe him as the bad guy. And I understand where those people are coming from. And I think it's a function of where people are coming from in life when they play this game. I think if what you've experienced so far in life when you play is like some form of intellectual fascism, is too many people telling you what you should think and not enough freedom to think for yourself, then Milton will be your hero. And maybe if you've been surrounded by people who aren't driven by faith in something, then maybe he's the bad guy. And at the end of this sequence, you choose whether to take him with you or not. And that is a test of where you are on this spectrum. Is he everything? Is he nothing? Or is he one side of the coin? To me, I'm an anarchist about everything. I think the world is most beautiful when people make their own choices and recognize no authority but themselves. But also that we recognize that we're not separate from everything else in this world. That what it is for me to live well and for you to live well is not in competition. I can't construct a watertight deductive argument for why love is better than hate. I can't prove that. But anyone that has loved knows it's true, instinctively, intuitively. And these deductive dilemmas distract us from that. I'll do a tangent, which is going to make this commentary even longer than it already is, but it's a useful one. I do believe in the devil in the same way that I believe in Plato's forms. I believe that hate is real and that we can know that for sure. And I believe that love is real and that we can know that for sure. And that one is much more lovely than the other, and we know that for sure. And the force of hate in the world is the devil. And the devil manifests in myriad forms, including in each of us. And what the devil likes to do is give us these supposedly black and white dilemmas. He likes to make us choose between Trump and Biden, between giving rights to animals or eating them. And what I want to suggest is that it's way less important which horn of the dilemma you grasp than what you do once you have. That what makes the world more wonderful for all of us isn't what we decide in a given case, because that's out of our hands. We can't control it. What matters is what we do. So I used to be like very simplistically left-wing. I would vote for any candidate that was left in their policy. Where now I would say less important than the policies is how and why they're done. And I would merrily vote for conservative policies if I thought the person doing them was genuinely moved from a place of love and care. We spent too much time fighting over what basically amounts to syntax, when what I think we should be valuing is love.
That's a view I can respect. And also kind of have that for myself, because I agree with the part that says, I agree with the part that says we should make our decisions from love. I think that's pretty awesome. But I also agree with the part that says we should all come to our own view, our own positions ourselves. And so, me agreeing with Tom on these things does not mean that you must agree with us on these things. Kind of meta. Oh, maybe maybe I didn't use that word correctly. I am stumped on this puzzle. This is driving me crazy. What the fuck do I do? I know what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get a box up here so that I can blow it across here and down into here. I'm just like, how do I even... I've only got one connector. How do I connect anything over to there? Unless I'm missing one. Like drop a connector in a crazy place. Because like I have to be able to connect from the source to that spot. And like... I'm just thinking like I feel like I must have dropped a connector somewhere. Because this doesn't seem doable. I can't think of... I'm sure there must be one spot where you can see this from there. Oh, is it up here? Oh, I disconnected everything. Shoot. I need a box for this. Okay, I might have just figured it out.
When the truth will not reveal itself,
It
perhaps
just
it is best
did.
to seek it in another place.
It just did. Be quiet. Alright, so I do that, and that's how I need to end it. Right, so first we get a box over there. And we do that by putting it on here and attaching to... Yeah, okay, got it. I think I got it. This is a good one. There we go. And now we need to use our box. This one. We don't need to get ourselves over there anymore. Yay! Alright, where to next? We've got 2 more puzzles. You can tell I'm starting to get tired. That's not one. Up close and jammed. Yeah, I mean, another reason why I hesitated to react to the last thing Tom said is just because I just don't necessarily agree with anybody. Blanket. Like, I just what was it, like, maybe if 2 boxes high, I can take it. Maybe 1 will still get me, but 2 I can do. Like, anytime anybody says anything, it's like, here's what I believe is true, I will hesitate before agreeing with them, because I'm always like, oh, there's things I can agree with, but there's the ways you might mean that I'm not sure I agree with. You know, it's different depending on what the context is, like what we're doing, right? If we're talking about philosophical ideas that are meant to be like the nature of reality and objective truth, etc., I'm always a little bit wary about those things. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm always a little bit hesitant to just agree with people on those things. But if I'm connecting with someone as a friend and they're telling me about how their day went, and they're like, man, this happened to me and it was awful, I'm like, yeah, that was definitely awful. You know, very quick to agree with them in those circumstances. I think this one's crazy. This one's nuts. Come on, doggy, no. This one is unbelievable. Like, you get above its range. Actually, I don't remember what you're supposed to do with that. Oh, that was close. Are we supposed to get on a second one? Maybe. Let me jump. Ah, I was trying to pick up stuff. Yeah, so I'm a little bit of a hypocrite. I like to talk about philosophical ideas, but I don't like to agree with anybody else. What's down there? Wonder if there's a tool. Wonder if I can jump there. Oh, a star! Aha! Well, nice. Okay, I'm gonna need to attach you. I don't actually know where I'm going. Am I trying to get in here? Trying to get over there. Nope! Ah! Press the jump button, but right when the prompt went away. I think I want to put this on top. Do I need both boxes? Yeah, I do. Go, go. Okay, it worked. So it connects sometimes. There's another connector here. Might be almost done. Yay! And surprise star, that was nice. Alright, square. Time crawls. Okay, another recorder puzzle for the road. Let's finish strong. What do we got over here? We've got a button. What's on the other side of the button? Is there a box anywhere? Yeah. And then we need to connect in here. So it looks like we can shine through. We put one connector in here and the other connector over here. Alright, that'll work. The question is... Okay, yeah. So then we have ourself on one of these buttons and the box on the other button. Alright, I think I got it. Take this. So I think it's as simple as that. You don't need this on here anymore. The box here. Set up this one to connect. Cannot hit the box. Go past it. Alright, so now I think all we have to do is... that. And thankfully we don't have to stand there for 5 minutes while we wait. Do not press the X button. This is so weird, connecting a connector to itself. Dropping frames. Let's go. Maybe the recorder isn't as complicated as I remember it being. Is that everything? We got 2 more stars. That's okay. We're not going for all the stars this time around. Alright. Looks like we finished this world. Time to call it a day. Next time, we'll go into worlds 6 and 7. And then, perhaps we'll get the Faith ending. And then we'll go into the tower. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.